Woke up pissed as fuck at the world today. Actually, I didn't. I woke up feeling angelic and wonderful, even though I had a bunch of weird dreams. And then I thought about a lot of experiences with men. And then I got pissed off at the world, specifically men. Don't worry, ladies. You're safe. Non binary people, you're safe, excluding my housemate. And before anyone gets mad at me and is like, oh no, Tamia's gonna make another fucking video about man hating, shut the fuck up. I've made plenty of videos talking about how I think men deserve sympathy. And you know what happened in the comment sections of those videos? I got shut the fuck up whore, shut up cunt, exactly what a woman would say, and a bunch of other bullshit. And it's like, nigga, I said you deserved the right to feel emotion. Like, y'all shouldn't be getting sexually assaulted or abused or put through amazing amounts of trauma and then just told to man up and shut the fuck up about it. But I don't know. Sometimes people's misogyny and urge to feel powerful gets in the way of actually wanting to bond as a collective and be seen and heard. It's weird. And that's what the topic of this video is about. Because just like how there's tons of men I've met with traumatic backstories and fucked up scenarios who I've talked to and cared about, oh my god, it's like, it seems like a lot of people just have it, especially men, just have it ingrained in their system where it's like, oh, I went through something kind of traumatic. I should go out of my way to hurt as many women as possible. It could be big scale, it could be small scale. Like Elliot Rogers, it's like, okay, little weird little nigga, you didn't get some pussy. You did not need to go ahead and go, okay, I haven't gotten laid because I'm rude and an asshole and a twink. I'm gonna just fucking click, set up the little camera and start recording myself shooting random innocent women who I can't even work up the nerve to say hello to. Like, nigga, this dude is trying to talk to me, and I don't know, he's decent. Anyway, let's just say he did. Men like to do this thing with me where they just like to confess shit. It's happened a million times over. A million times over. To a scary extent. And sometimes I just think, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this information? Some of the shit is stuff that it's like, okay, it's sympathizable. Maybe you don't have anyone else you can talk to about the fact that your neighbor molested you as a kid. Like in that situation, it's like, yeah, fuck yeah, dude. I don't. It's like, it's a strange thing to be telling me after you just had sex with me, but it's like, okay, fucking talk to me because I want you to feel safe and comfortable and stuff. And I guess that worked because then the next day, that one dude, Tom, he went and told his dad, and then they bonded for the first time in years. And like, he might even get justice for a situation. So, like, I do support men opening up. But I do remember once when I was, like, freshly 18, I was with this dude who was, like, in his, like, 20s. Oh, don't worry, we only had, like, one single date. And on that date, he punched me in the face twice. He also brought a whole bottle of gin with a bottle of cranberry juice. And what's weird is I've told people about this, and like, me getting punished obviously is fucking ridiculous. But they also are like, why would he try to cut something bitter and sour with something even more bitter and sour? What the fuck was wrong with this guy? And I said, I mean, he also punched me in the face. And like, we could tell something was wrong with this guy already, but I like how you just kind of saw that extra detail as foreshadowing when I couldn't because I didn't drink. And then that dude confessed to me about how he had an opportunity to rape a chick and was feeling morally complex about it. And it's one of those things where it's like, this is a weird conversation to have with someone who's like, 4 to 5 years your senior. I mean, your junior. And it's like, what am I supposed to say? It's like, I don't want to say, good job on not raping her. I just was like, oh, well, I'm glad you didn't give in to those instincts. And as long as you never do, and maybe you should seek some therapy. And he was like, you're cool as fuck. And I still got punched in the face. So, I'm not immune to the consequences of misogyny. We didn't have a second date also because, funny enough, he, for a lot of reasons. Let's just say he sexually assaulted a girl who was actually even younger than me, and I was already freshly 18. So yeah, he's a disgusting guy. I believe his name is Ramon Sanchez, and he still lives in San Francisco. I don't give a fuck. Fuck that nigga. Anyway, that's just like some lore to like set the scene that sometimes people just tell me whatever. It's like, okay, nigga, the conversation was about how you talk more about yourself and don't really ask me enough things. And then they'll just be like, oh, I'm sorry. This all probably happened because when I was a young child, I always had dreams of living up to my father's aims and goals for me to be a famous baseball player, like my famous cousin in Mexico who tragically died. And I'll just be like, and then they'll go on a 2 hour long fucking anime monologue, and I will just let that shit end and be like, nigga, what the fuck did that have to do with what I was talking to you about? Be fucking for real. Anyway, So to set the scene, this guy I've been talking to lately, he's pretty. I mean, I ain't saying he ugly. It's like, how do I put this? His face is good enough that I'm talking to him, and that's a fucked up thing to say. I'm aware, but I was like, he seems like he could be cool to get to know. He seems relatively interesting, but guess what? The thing that I mentioned came up, and the next thing you know, he just started being like, yeah, after my ex tragically broke my heart by just randomly leaving without a word or an explanation, I decided that I would just do non-stop drinking and manipulating women into sex with me, and I knew which every single button to push to get what I wanted from them, to always get what I wanted, no matter what. I'd lie and say I would give them a relationship, or this, or that. And then, as soon as I got what I wanted, I would just coldly dip out on them and leave them heartbroken. I'd block them, mute them, anything I needed, and never talk to them again on all platforms. And it's like, nigga, you're bragging. Then he tried to be like, I'm not like that anymore. I'm looking for love. Nigga, you already foreshadowed what your character is like. You got slightly sad. And also, no offense, if you're that manipulative, I highly doubt that your ex just randomly left you. Because I've been randomly left. I have. That shit sucks. It hurts like a bitch. Hurts like a motherfucking bitch. You know what I still chose to do? I still chose to believe in love and not hurt innocent people. Like, I got abandoned by this guy like, he hyped me. I once got abandoned by this guy. His name is Maxwell. Fuck Maxwell. Ugly ass nigga. I remember he abandoned me so cruelly. Like, he was hyping up Christmas in the mountains with him and like gifts and this and that. Did that ever come? No. I got ghosted for several months until I had to catfish Maxwell to meet me in public, like months later. And I made him buy me Mexican food too. That was funny. I still have that video on my phone of me doing that. Oh my god, I've done crazy shit. Anyway, but I know how it feels to lose your mind, but guess what? I didn't decide I'm gonna hurt innocent people. I decided that did not work out in love. I don't know if I can trust love again, but I can certainly, have consensual, enjoyable sex with people and then possibly meet some cool people along the way to like get to know and socialize with and have my fun. I didn't just straight up become L or Light from Death Note. I didn't just do some, the world needs to be fixed and cleansed, and I must now stick my dick in every hole through nonsensical moral means. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you niggas? Like, why do niggas get hurt and they decide they want to hurt niggas? Like that Ramon guy. Hell, he just, like, he was in those incel forums and stuff and was friends with incels, but he even told me that he's not even really an incel. Like, he's had luck with women. He has, like, he's even been the douchebag guy before, the Chad. But that simply put, he related to incels and just wanted to get close with them or whatever. And now that I'm older, it's like, I'm pretty sure he just wanted people that were going to enable his behaviors no matter how bad it got, like a circle jerk. So then it's like, okay, if you get bitches, you got two friends who don't get bitches. And then, but if you say you don't get bitches, then you got those friends. And then you can convince them, hey guys, I sexually assaulted this girl because she wasn't putting out. I'm okay, right? Because you know what? I deserve a little treat. Then you got the two dumbass niggas in your head being like, exactly. Hurt that poor woman. It's disgusting. I hate these motherfuckers. It's just weird. Like, it's so weird. Like, Ramon, you complained that you weren't having luck with women and really wanted a girlfriend and really wanted to date. And then you finally got a date. And then you decided to just punch her in the face. And then get drunk. We went to a park. Why did he bring a big bottle of alcohol to a park? And then he just went, I'm going to tell her about this. Like, one time a chick was so drunk that I could have had my way with her. But instead, I, called her mom to pick her up and didn't do anything. I'm a good guy, right? And then I was like, oh, I'm scared for my life because we're alone in these woods in this park. It's foggy and he's the only one who knows how to get me home. Yeah, sure. You're a safe guy as long as you didn't do anything. Oh my god, I totally repressed that memory for all the right reasons. Jesus. Anyway, if you're following along, sorry and thank you. Niggas can be weird. But anyway, so this guy I've been talking to, he just went on that whole monologue, and now it's got me looking at him different, and I just kind of wonder, what's the point of telling me this? Is it just to see if I'm one of those stupid bitches who are gonna, like, overlook the red flags and just assume that you like me and truly want love now because you're telling me you like me? and want love now? Because you just told me that you had like a lot of other women in vulnerable positions that you coerced into sex with you through immoral means with the exact same lie. Like, nigga, if you just want to fuck, just say that. Because with him, I wasn't even thinking anything serious at all. I was like, he lives in Las Vegas. He is super far away. If I were to be out there, it would just be some sort of like ball out, have a time of my life, do everything I want, maybe probably some sex. It's like, yeah, we're gonna fuck if you get me every single thing I want. Hell yeah, we're fucking. And then I'm gonna go home and never talk to you again. So I even hit my friends. I was like, is it me or does this just seem like he's trying to set up like the dominoes so that he can eventually have me as just another girl he can brag about having as a conquest, because he doesn't feel like he can just have sex with me normally or request a fling normally and be normal. And someone said, yeah, that's exactly it. Because why the fuck would you do that? And oh my fucking god. There was this other guy, let's call him Abe. I'm not gonna talk much about him. Maybe out of respect. Is it out of fear? I don't think out of fear. What can that nigga do? I don't know. Either way, he's got a big social media following, is all I gotta say. And with him, he did similar. Like, oh my god, some dudes just are like, ah, Tamia seems cool. I can talk to her about anything, because there's nothing that she's really that afraid of. Hey, Tamia, I'm gonna tell you that I pop pills endlessly. I take kratom. I do this, this, and that. I'm always on Xanax. I just lay in my bed slumped all the fucking time after this one girl broke my heart. And then it's always funny how when I ask a dude how the girls break their heart, these dudes also have the funniest ways of like trying to dodge accountability. But it's like, not, I may be autistic, but I also have, I can still see through the gaps, buddy. Like, I once dealt with this nigga. He was like, ooh, well, you know, my girl once alluded that she wasn't happy, and I may have gotten a little out of character. And she didn't like that. And so, next thing you know, she just like coldly distanced from me. And I tried to reach out like a lot. I really, really tried to. And she was like, I need space. And I like, she tried to break up with me, but we talked and she said I need space. I was like, okay. And then like 3 weeks went by. I talked to her. She said, why would you think we were still dating? And now I'm just left to deal with my heartbreak alone. And it's like, simply put, just from the details of the story, it's like, oh, okay, so this is what happened. She wanted to break up with you. You had an extremely volatile reaction. Because niggas don't say, oh, I yelled at her. They say, I had a bit of a reaction. Like, nigga, you probably yelled at her and punched a hole in the wall. Okay. And then, because it's like, other, like, nigga, be blunt. You can be yourself. It's okay. And then she broke up with you. You didn't handle it as a breakup, probably crashed out more. She said she needs space. You assumed you were still dating. No, the fuck you weren't. She probably was like, this dude's fucking insane and not handling the breakup well. And then, yeah, now you're just left to realize that there was never a chance of getting back together. Like, and that's not just me assuming the worst out of this dude, but simply put, it's like I notice things with men. I also met this other dude where he was like, oh, well, with me and my wife, like, there was a little tension in our relationship, but then, she got over it, and, we talked it out, and then she realized we should have an open relationship, but only I'm open. She wouldn't do that to me. She's too faithful. And that's just his way of saying, I was cheating on my wife, and she was losing her mind, until she eventually gave up and just let me freely fuck other people, because she knows that she's financially reliant on me. It's like, yeah. He also was the type of dude to read Blood Meridian, or at least say he read Blood Meridian, and then say that the main characters who were, raping children and killing people were the good guys. There's a lot of people on this planet who are not very good people. It's actually kind of scary. Hell, fuck, I got too many examples. See, this is why I wake up sometimes and I just think about men a little too long and I just start getting sad and annoyed. Because even with the Riley dude, yeah, he was like, oh, like, he used vague terms too. He was like, yeah, I've been, he was like, yeah, me and her, like, we were separated, like, we broke up like 6 months ago, separated. But, only recently have I really started to want to move on. Which was really, and then the fight happened with his ex where she punched me in the fucking nose like I was a fucking bop it. And then he was like, well, you know how I said that me and my ex were technically still together, but like thinking about separating 6 months ago, and how only recently that we broke up. I said, no, you told me the exact opposite. And I remember, and he was like, yeah, if you want to see it that way. It's like, nigga, fuck you. I'm about to fight you too. Ooh. He was so lucky he did not get fought. I should have just slapped the shit out of him super quick before he could cancel my Lyft ride home. I swear to God. It's like, nigga, why did you lie? Now, because you had me fighting random bitch, I would have knocked him over. Oh my God. That whole situation was stupid. I hate people. So, okay, I know I just gave you like a lot of stories at once, but it's like it's subtle foreshadowing. You just need like a bunch of rapid details thrown at you at once before I can finally lead you to the big finale. But yeah, with this guy, his name was Abe. He was like, to me it's different. I can tell her anything straight up. And so then he just told me about how he's got all these different like girls he's been having sex with, and how he's popping pills to escape from the fact that he broke up with his ex, or that his ex dumped him coldly. And then, but guess what? I got more detail out of him, and then he admitted that it's like it was kind of one of those relationships that were just basically abusive, but he wouldn't outwardly say that. He'd just be like, oh, well, I knew the right buttons to push to really make her cry. I've made her cry a few times because, I just wanted to make her upset. I was pissed at her, and she would say mean things to me. I would say mean things to her, but sometimes I would even go above and beyond just to make sure she cried. And yeah, the next thing you know, she just stopped talking to me. And I don't get why. And it's like, nigga, you got a 10-year age gap with that girl who was having sex with you and taking care of you and tending to you. And also he admitted they weren't even like that officially it's like, oh, so you were just verbally abusive to a chick who is mentally unstable? And then you're just mad because she decided to just leave you and fuck other people? That's healthy. And then, of course, the healthy coping mechanism of not recognizing what he did was wrong and instead just deciding, I'm gonna pop as many pills as I fucking can and do all the drugs and then not work on my creative goals and then have sex with as many women as possible. And then he was like, yeah, I'm fucking this one girl with an OnlyFans, another girl with an OnlyFans. I'm having, like, this one girl, she's kind of cute, not that cute. She's, like, like a 7.5, and she lives in, like, Martina, so I can't see her. Like, she lives super far away, but I like her the most, even though she's not the cutest. And he sent me a photo of her, and I was like, this is the hottest girl ever. What the fuck is this nigga on? And like then he sent me a picture of the other OnlyFans girl he's fucking, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, shit. It's like, I see why the other one would be, you think, is a 7 if you saw the 10. But the 10, let's call her Stella. He was like, Stella is fucking nuts. She's a nut job, honestly. Like, she's probably got BPD and autism or whatever. She's got something up with her brain. She's fucked up in the head. And like And he told me about how basically they had only been fucking and doing nothing but sex for like a month before she just had a breakdown where she went crazy on him, was calling him nonstop, and basically saying she was in love with him, and how he basically ended things with her. But then like a week passed, and then she contacted him. They reached out again. They started fucking. I said, hey, dude, maybe it's not good to keep having sex with a chick who wants a relationship and is extremely emotionally unstable and volatile and has a lot of issues then. Like, yeah, she's hot, but you have a big social media following. You're a very attractive guy. You're smart. You're funny. You have a lot of options for sex. You don't need to basically manipulate this woman into sex with you by making her think there's more. He was like, no, no, she knows what's up. She definitely knows what's up. Like 100% she knows the deal. Did she know the deal? No. Let's just say me and Abe had a falling out, because let's just say he already had like 5 women in rotation that I knew of, and he was trying to make me lucky number 7. Wait, sorry, he had 6 women and he was trying to make me lucky number 7, just for me to find out for my own crash out. Because me, let's just say he tried some tactics on me that I did not appreciate at all. I crashed out about it because I saw it and he was being disrespectful. I contacted Stella. I was like, hey, just so you know, Abe did this, this, and that. Like, I don't know why, but he showed me some like sexual photos of you, but he gave me this reason to why he did it. Also, he did this, this, and that. And I basically talked to her, and I was like, also, he said some fucked up things about your family, your mother, and I told her in depth everything, because I thought to myself, if I were in her shoes and I really, really liked the guy and was giving him pussy and making secret OnlyFans content with him, I would want to make him feel like, I would want to know if he was going to be secretly dogging me out. If anything, I felt bad for not reaching out sooner. But, we're all human. We all make mistakes sometimes. Either way, guess what? She was like, oh, what the fuck? And, like, I sent her everything. And she was like, oh, you mean to tell me that he's been telling you all this shit about me when he was just asking me for a relationship this morning? And she sent me screenshots. And basically she asked him, like, hi, I want to make sure I don't get my emotions tangled up with you because I know how I am. What would you like from this? Would you like to just be sex, or would you like something more? And then he did the fuckboy answer of, oh, I can't date right now, but I would really, really, really like to be with you. I would really adore a relationship with you. That would be amazing. If I could just, like, a relationship with you would be awesome. I just can't commit to it right now, and I need to give it some time before I can decide if it's a good idea or not. And are if you don't know, that's just slang for I want to fuck you until I find someone better to fuck, or someone who's harder to get. And if I don't find them, or if they don't want me, sure, I'll settle for you after a really long time of fucking you, and it's not gonna be anything you wanted. Like, that's how it is with these dudes. Like, oh, that devastated me. It's like, and then they were making plans. She's like, ooh, you want to meet tomorrow? We can go for a drive around the city and I can bake for you. And he was like, yeah, that sounds lovely. Whole time, it's like, also, guess what? After I talked to Stella, I had multiple more women reach out to me, and they were like, yeah, Abe has a thing for targeting women who have, like, neurodivergency or cancer. And then she told me how she has terminal illness, she has terminal cancer, and how he knew that, but he was basically pulling the same shitty tactics that he tried on me, and some that he's most likely tried on Stella, because I guess he just wants a rotation of, like, mentally ill, neurodivergent, extremely terminally ill women who he thinks has no other options. And he's got low self-esteem because he's fat and has insecurities or whatever. It's like, you could be fat and have insecurities and still get bitches without having to be like, I'm gonna go towards the women who need to be in mental wards, special ed class, or the fucking terminal cancer wing of a hospital, and I'm gonna go for them. And that got on my motherfucking nerves. I don't know. I'm just seeing more instances of why there's memes of women saying shit like, ooh, men take acid to discover human emotions that I knew when I was like 9. Like, like, why are you 32 years old and starting to just now discover what empathy is? That's strange. And if you're like, what's the issue with trying to dick down some neurodivergent women? That would not be the issue if he was just straight up being like, hi, you're hot, and I would like to get to know you for a little bit, and if you're cool, I would like for us to be fuck buddies sometimes. He should be man enough to expect a yes or a no. But going out of his way to, like, do stupid ass manipulation tactics and trying to, like, specifically target mentally ill or devastatingly sick women who don't have that many people around them, who really want people to care for them and don't have a lot of spoons or energy to just give. And to go out of your way to target them, to just go out of your way and target them, is sick. It's sick as fuck. To just be like, oh, okay, here's this chick who obviously wants a relationship. I'm gonna hype her up as if I can give her a relationship, but then secretly I'm just waiting and biding my time until she will eventually put out, and then I'm on to the next one. And so many dudes do. It's like, just be normal. Just be normal. Fuck sake. Like, guess what? I remember I'm in my last video I posted on here, I talked about this dude I dated and how I thought he was arrogant with his whole, oh, I'm just trying to play the field. I'm not really trying to date anyone bullshit. I thought that was fucking arrogant, and he was overly smug because I didn't want anything. Like, nigga, I had a whole nother man consensually. It was not cheating. It was an open relationship dynamic. Simply put, hell, I can even bring up that nigga. Sorry, I'm trying. But it's like, I was seeing this guy named Calvin, and he was like, oh, I don't have a lot of free time, but I would love to date you. And da 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 da. Which later on he admitted was just like a really roundabout way of saying that he didn't want to date me. He just wanted to, like, keep having sex with my sexy 18-year-old ass. Which is like, nigga. And I had to tell him, it's like, nigga, I had sex with you on the first date. Like, you could have just been like, hi, I want to be fuck buddies, but I am happy to, like, take you out for food and stuff. like, or do an activity before we go to my place and have sex. That would have worked entirely fine. I had a high sex drive and I had been plotting on you for years. You didn't have to do a weird manipulation tactic to pretend that you wanted a relationship, because that's strange and stupid. You didn't question why I had on matching underwear? Anyway, and then the Patrick dude, guess what? Like, funny enough, me and the Patrick dude did start dating. What an ironic twist. I thought I was gonna have a relationship with Calvin and Patrick was just gonna be side dick and entertainment, and roles were reversed by the end of the summer. Huh. But yeah, I thought Patrick was arrogant as fuck, but at the same time, I did think to myself, okay, this is a guy who's at least stating his intentions up front, and it's cool with me. I just don't like that he's assuming I wanted something like that with him in the first place, but at least he's being upfront so that I know and we are both on the same page and there's no chance of getting wires crossed. Until eventually wires did get crossed. In hindsight, I totally repressed this memory. I remember he did the whole, I'm not talking to anybody else, just you. And then I went through his phone, and then he was like, oh, well, I said talking. You didn't say texting. And it's like, nigga, you said just the other night that you wanted a relationship with me, and you're out here texting other bitches while I'm laying next to you? And you were also texting some of them as I was sexting you? I'm about to murder you. And oh my god, I wanted to. Ooh. And if you're wondering, how did we rebound from that? I almost didn't. I remember he tried a manipulation tactic that almost worked. We had some weird makeup sex. That also was a little bit of a cut kink for me, because I do have that. And then I remember the next day I was like, actually, never mind. I'm actually not cool with that. I'm okay. Like, he tried the manipulation tactic of like, oh, well, if you're really not fine with it, then we don't have to date. And then guess what? The second I tried to leave, he was like, no, 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 no. And then he tried to like manipulate me, like, oh my god, why would you go through my phone? You don't trust me. And also, these are the specific words I used as a loophole, so technically you're the bad person who misunderstood. Also, yeah, if you're that insecure, maybe we shouldn't date, but you have to respect my phone. I would have given you my password. No, he wouldn't have. Fucking bitch ass. Like, all that shit. And it almost worked until the next day I was like, you know what? Actually, I don't want to date a dude who's gonna fucking date other women. See ya. And then he was like, no, 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 no. And then anytime he tried to even stray off course from what I wanted, he would be like, no, please, fuck, fuck, fuck. Fine, I'll date you. Please, please, please don't leave. And it's like, ugh. And oh my god, that relationship was clusterfuck. Can you believe that guy was one of the nicest people I had dated at the time? Yeah. But then again, you heard me open up this video with me talking about how I dated, or almost dated, a dude who punched me in the face and talked about sexual assault. Yeah, let's just say the dating pool out here is kind of weird. And it's even weirder when you're mentally ill and like autistic and have a bunch of like a bad home life and stuff. Simply put, I don't like men who go out of their way to target other people who are doing bad because they feel bad. Like Abe, for example. Like, yeah, he was a fat guy, but he was a very attractive fat guy. It's like, okay, nigga, you're like 6'6", very muscular. You got pretty eyes, you got a good face, you're funny, you're smart, you're talented, you're intelligent. You could have any woman you wanted consensually. But no, he didn't want consensual sex. He wanted to feel powerful. He hated that his ex-girlfriend made him feel disposable, because he couldn't get away with treating her bad. So then his MO was like, oh, I want to treat any woman bad after her, as bad as I can. And I'm gonna, like, I remember I had to really hit him up right before we dropped contact. I was like, nigga, I was like, you have a lot of talent. You're a great writer. You had a book that you said you were going to release, like, just like this fucking year, 2 years ago, and that book still isn't finished. Why? Because you've been too busy focused on sex and pussy and Xanax. You have things you could be doing that are way more important than just sex. And then on top of that, like, actually, no, that's all I need to say. But I also, and I remember I specifically told him, you don't need to be out here trying to like hurt women or have sex with women endlessly and play with their feelings and stuff. If you were just honest, a lot of them would have fucked you anyway. I don't know if it's because you want to feel powerful or if you're just that low self-esteem where you don't think you can just ask a woman for sex normally and trust that she would say yes, unless you did some weird, I want a relationship, oh, I promise I'm gonna text you back the next day manipulation bullshit. But like, that's not cool. And I hope you get to the point where you trust yourself and like yourself enough where you're going to like treat other people well. And I just hope that you actually fucking work on your writing projects and stop having endless sex and manipulating women. And then, you know what? He hit me up after I left him that voicemail. He was like, you know what? You're right. This sparked a fire in my chest and under my ass. You're right, Samia. I do need to get back into writing again. I told him there was a second half to that sentence, buddy. He was like, he just ignored that message. uh, but yeah. And then, simply put, with the guy I've been recently talking to, who I just kind of was talking to, not exactly out of boredom. It's just like, here's a chance to get to know a type of person that I haven't met before. Some metalhead in Las Vegas. Let's see how this goes. And he's just openly like, it's like, I don't know. He's trying to act like he's showing some sort of testament of like, oh, look, I used to be a bad guy, endless getting pussy through women through psychological mind games. But now I'm a man of God who wants love and affection. No, you don't. You just want pussy. It's okay. You could just say that. I would probably give it to you. Like, after a lot of money spending. But, it's like, be normal. And also it's like, even if that was true, it's like, nigga, why would I want to date you? You just openly profess that you're a terrible, evil man who sees women as disposable fuck objects who you have no respect for, and that you went out of your way to hurt and manipulate a bunch of women for no fucking reason by hurting and abandoning them in the exact same way that you were abandoned and hurt, which you may or may not have deserved. Strange. Because I've been hurt and abandoned, and you know what I went? You know what? Someone else is more deserving of my love. And even at my worst, I was like, I'm going to just have a bunch of consensual sex with consenting strangers who want to get with me. Like, I get it's harder as a dude, but it's like, really, you didn't need to manipulate those women. Like, he's not an objectively bad looking guy. Like, really, I checked his fucking comment section. Trust me. It's like he's got plenty of Latina goth baddies that he could be with consensually. Just fucking ridiculous, dude. I hate that shit so, so much. Just, God. Anyway. Yeah, niggas are pieces of shit out here. And it makes me happy that I am pretty much celibate and less paid, because it's like, if you want to waste my time and fuck me over, you're not getting through that way emotionally, you're getting through it financially. Otherwise, I am much more happy just keeping the fuck to myself, because too many of y'all are psychopathic and weird and strange. Why would you decide to hurt other people, especially women? Like, women go through enough. And I know there's dudes out here who are like, women don't go through shit. They have the world handed to them. They could have dick anytime they want, money, gifts, all that. I need to hurt them. It's stupid. Shut up. Shut up. It's not. If it was really that good, do you think I'd be on here making YouTube videos about how traumatic it's all been for me? Cause what, like, no, nigga. Cause someone like me, I would be like, I'm looking for consensual sex with someone decently respectful, and then they'd be like, I must. Hell, that actually did happen with Maxwell and several other dudes. I would be like they'd be like, I'm looking for a woman to just have casual sex with. I'd be like, me, I'm okay with you having sex with me, and then us like possibly never talking again or not having too deep of a connection, like just orgasm. And then they'd be like, yippee. But then they'd be like, this isn't fun. I want someone that I can have like an emotional attachment to, specifically so I can abandon them and like feel like the man and feel like I won and that I'm not being discarded. It's so fucking stupid. Like, I could tell niggas I'm not trying to date and just trying to fuck, and then they'll be like, I'm gonna try to see if I can make this woman want to date me, so that fucking her is more fun, and then abandoning her feels more fun, and I can feel like I won and triumphed. That's weird. That's very strange. Yeah, and that's how I am the way I am. So for a lot of reasons, I don't sympathize with the. It's like, I try to sympathize with men, but a lot of these niggas out here are just really, really, really content, really, really content with like, this woman says she wants sex, I'm gonna hurt her. This woman says she wants sex, I'm gonna like try to make her love me, so that then I can hurt her and feel good about myself. Like you could have just dated these women and then probably gotten over that ex and felt good, but I don't know. Maybe that would have even been a curse. So maybe it's good you didn't date them if you're so psychopathic that the option you actually did take was to try to manipulate women into sex just to aim to hurt them and see how many mentally ill, unstable baddies you could collect. I don't like it. What's up with that? Yeah, simply put, I'm gonna say something problematic. I don't blame women for fighting men. It's after some point, I don't. I don't. Like, it's not good to hit people, but a lot of men don't care about being good in the first place. Like, they don't. I've hit niggas, and Jesus, it's not the best quality. It's not the best quality. But let me tell you, I have held a lot of restraint in a lot of situations where niggas should have been diced the fuck up. They should have gotten a two-piece and a biscuit. Instead, I was like, let me go ahead and take some deep breaths. And despite the trauma and hurt they give me, I'm not going to traumatize anybody else. And I'm just going to, like, date the next person I date and still trust that love exists out there. And that I'm deserving of it and that good can come my way. I don't understand these niggas who are just like, I'm going to just be as evil as fucking possible. That's stupid. Anyway, bye.